On Wednesday, 3 December 2025, Senator passed the second reading of the bill wey go make kidnapping and hostage taking out of terrorism, and the punishment go be death sentence. The bill na from Senate leader Opeyemi Bamidele for Ekiti Central, and e dey try amend the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act 2025 to make Naija security system dey stronger. The bill no gree make anybody dey pay fine again or collect short sen ten ce, say na straight death penalties for kidnappers. E still give security people more power, like better intel gathering, seizing kidnapper property, and better teamwork to catch and stop kidnapping gangs.
The bill seeks to amend the extant law to, among other things, designate kidnapping, hostage taking, and related offenses as acts of terrorism, and to prescribe death penalty for such offenses without option of fine or alternative sentence, among others. This bill was read for the first time on Thursday, 27th November 2025. And Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, may I also add that this bill is coming pursuant to the resolve of this 10th Senate and the 10th Assembly to join hands with Mr. President and other arms of government in bringing a lasting solution to the insecurity challenge that we are faced with as a country. 3 weeks ago, this hallowed chamber, the Senate, held an executive session, and part of the resolutions at the executive session was that the office of the Senate leader should, without any delay, come up with a bill that will redesignate kidnapping as an act of terrorism, thereby attracting a death penalty. So this bill is part of the resolutions of the 10th Senate.
The law dey designed to serve as warning to kidnappers, but right now, some kidnappers dey collect life imprisonment or small punishment unless the victim die. But this new law could change everything. Senators like Abamoro, Adams Oshomole, and Oji Uzo Kalu support the bill. Dem talk say Naija people need tough punishment to stop all these killings and fear wey bandits and terrorists dey cause.
The intent was very clear, that kidnapping must be properly designated, its consequences aptly identified, and punishments meted out appropriately. And so, Mr. President, I think that we should go ahead and allow for a second reading of this bill in the hope that a properly designated act of criminality with its concomitant punishment will act as a deterrent to the daily occurrence of kidnapping in our country.
I want to further emphasize is that this bill will also cure the mischief in the terrorist act, because we have seen in the distant past where terrorists apprehended who have killed, maimed, and committed heinous crimes were, in the name of de-radicalization, they were arrested, quote and unquote, de-radicalized, retrained, fed with taxpayers' money, and as we know now, some of these guys went back to continue with the act of terrorism. So my understanding of this reinforcement of the Terrorism Act by including kidnapping is that such discretion will not be available to anyone, whether in the armed forces or even in the executive.
Mr. President and distinguished colleagues, I'm not sure that this bill brought by the leader of the Senate was a bill agreed by all of us. All 109 senators agreed in a closed session that we must get this bill across and sent to Mr. President. Mr. President, I believe it's a high time. There's no town and villages that there are no kidnappers in Nigeria.
Senate President Godswill Akpabio later announced that the bill don't pass second reading and them don't send am go committee to report back in 2 weeks.
It's a bill for an act to amend the Terrorism Prevention and Prohibition Act to designate kidnapping, hostage-taking, and related offenses as acts of terrorism, to prescribe death penalty for such offenses without option of fine or alternative sentences, and for related matters 2025. Second reading taken. As a result of the importance of this bill is now committed to the committees on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, National Security and Intelligence, the Committee on Interior, and the lead committee will be the Committee on Judiciary, Human Rights and Legal Matters, to report back to the Senate within 2 weeks.
If this bill pass and become law, it will be big win for Naija fight against kidnapping and terrorism. Make una no forget say, as we see am, na so we dey talk am. We no dey take blame. Ofora Femi, TMC News.